Yes, we kick off with the brutalism that is the Lancastrian Hall and Central Library. And don't be fooled by the fact that the Chinese restaurant behind me has been closed for eons. We're in Swinton in Salford. Don't let the name fool you. Swinton, it's from the Old English for swine town or pig town. But remember, in 1857, a gentleman called Ken Scowcroft, he started off Swinton Insurance on the table in his front room. Whether it's a dining room or a lounge, I don't know. And it grew into what it was. It was also the first, Swinton Insurance, to advertise on television and to also use computerized insurance policy finding. So there you go. Swinton's famous for an awful lot of other things, but we'll get into that very shortly. It's a glorious day here in Swinton, and don't let the fact that all these wonderful closed shops on the very front of the main road that cuts through the town on its making its merry way to Salford and Manchester, don't let this fool you, because straight opposite this magnificent beast of complete, well, I don't know what you even might call you, but let's have a swing across. And what do we see? Yes, it's the merry centre of the City of Salford administration, Salford Council. I must mention it's not just any old council, it's Salford Civic Centre. And it's in very pleasant grounds, as you can see, nicely tended. And as we look into the sun, sorry about that, very pleasant. But in fairness, if you look opposite, Swinton Square, and as we mentioned, the Chinese restaurant and this brutalist thing. Depending how you look at it, it's actually quite imposing. But anyway, what can we do? And as we can see, it's coming up to the elections, and if your name's Mark, well, you better make your mark. And I don't know whether Swinton will follow Denton with the recent elections and tell you to make your mark in Urdu. But we won't go there because we don't talk about the Greens, seeing as there's been these awful outbreaks of meningitis in the country. I'm not blaming the Greens. I'm just thinking perhaps some of their members might not suffer from it because they suffer from a lack of brainage. Swinton has a heritage of coal mining and also cotton in times past, so I'd like to introduce you to this coal miner here, who I thought, a former coal miner, you might like to have a chat with. And this is my friend here, and excuse, can you tell me your name? Oh, okay. What was it like working in the mines? And was it a very difficult job? Oh, well, not to worry. No, in fairness, I know I was taking the urinary tract there a second, but this bench is dedicated to the mine workers, and as I think it correctly says on this plate here, never forget the dark, dank industry they used to work in, providing the coal that powered the Industrial Revolution. Well, not just in the UK, but everywhere. Still does in certain places like China and other ones who don't pay any attention to, well, don't pay any deep attention to environmental issues. And no parking in front of these doors. Where would you put your car? Anyway, we won't go into that now. This particular building here reminding us that, yes, you must have your 60s, 70s brutalist architecture. You've got to. It's the law. Although swinging round, you can see that Unity House, for people who have unities, it's an area that's, they have meetings and different things on. Well, obviously they have different things on, otherwise they wouldn't have it. And when you get fed up with your dog, you can chuck him in there. Oh, they've got an electric vehicle charging point. Well done, Salford. And if you want to come as a visitor, yes, you have to, even though you might be coming on official business, you've got to use the cash machine. Although 30 minutes to 2.5 hours for £1.50, I suppose not bad. providing it goes to the council and not to some parking parasite company. Oh, the charging machine is actually run by Transport for Greater Manchester. Well, I wonder how much it is. Oh no, it doesn't give an indication. No, not a word. And then we've got the memorial garden that's just outside the civic centre and council, and I suppose you might say Salford governance offices. And very pleasant it looks too, which there's no reason why it shouldn't, because it's commemorating all those brave people who fell in times past. Let's go a little bit closer. That's for the Second World War. They shall grow not old, as that we are left can grow old. And then there's a memory to the Great War of 1418 as well. Although the names on the plates all seem to be for the Second World War. But still, not knocking it. It's something that's needed. And then we have a little bit of a Gormley type, well, I won't say exhibition, Gormley type sculptures here. I'm not saying they're by the artist Gormley, but little garden for reflection. And you can see here the images or silhouettes in metal, with accompanying music by a local crow or jackdaw. And there we go. I'm sure quite moving when they have bands and commemorations here, and little scutties who go past on their bikes shouting obscenities. And this is very moving. You know, you can't really say nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's very, very pleasant, but it's a little wall commemorating people locally who served in the forces and who have just passed away, perhaps either from natural causes or whatever. But that's a nice little memorial, I think, myself. That's my own personal opinion. I have to confess, the local just made me laugh. I was just standing here admiring the council offices from the other side, and you can see behind me there an Italian restaurant. A gentleman just passed by, asked me, "Oh, have I ever eaten in Pucky?" Yes, so that's Pucky, it seems. Yes. Oh, Imjang. For those of you who might remember, we mentioned Swinton Insurance before. They're using the colours from Swinton Insurance, if I'm not mistaken. As you can see, the Swinton Square shopping centre is proving very, very magnetic. Not that I ever would be judgmental, but anyways, we walk up Wellington Road here. It's typical back-to-backs. Actually, I don't know if you know back-to-backs, but artisan dwellings, they would be called nowadays, in order to inflate their cost on purple bricks. Other estate agents who take commission and don't do very much are available. As we wander down in the suburban part of the suburb of Swinton, oh, there's a double negative, positive. You can see why Tony Warren, the creator of Coronation Street, who was born and raised here, you can see where he got his inspiration from. There are several other rather famous people who came from Swinton. They include perhaps one of the most famous Mancunians of them all, the artist LS Lowry, and also the incredible actor Ben Kingsley. He hailed from Swinton. And not only that, we have Ryan Giggs, for those of you who are anyway footballery, and the likes of Eric Idle, a Monty Python man. Yes, he's from here. Shaun Ryder. Well, of course, you have to have somebody from Happy Monday here. I don't want to shout Happy Mondays too loudly, otherwise I'll find Bez descending on me, asking if I want to have a drink or a dance. And also Sir Peter Maxwell Davies, the composer and orchestrational man. He's also hails from here. I actually have an ulterior motive for coming to Swinton. Yes, I've always got an ulterior motive. Well, aside from getting me out of the flat and doing my steps to keep my daughter happy, I'm taking a trip into Morrison's. Oh, is that oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, rock on, Tommy. Because I believe they have some of my favourite tea bags. Barry's Tea. Not that I'm advocating or advertising for it, but that's why I've come along. So I'm going to have a look now and see. Now, I know you're probably not the least bit interested as to how I found out about Barry's Tea, but I was in the Tesco. You may have seen my other video, the largest Tesco in Europe. And according to the website on Tesco, they do stock Barry's Tea. But so far, none of the 4 Tesco's and don't get me wrong, I don't go around visiting Tesco's, none of them had it. And the lady overheard me, who comes from this very near town of Swinton, she said, they have them in Morrison's. So I'm off to see. I won't come in with a camera because you've all seen what a supermarket looks like, and I go into them often enough. Oh dear, I said I wouldn't film in Morrison's, but Yorkshire Tea, Lancashire Tea, but sadly, no Barry's Tea. There you are, despite being a grumpy old git, they were delighted to see me. That can't possibly be a proper barber's. Maybe they just haven't got room for washing machines to clean all those lovely £50 notes. I do hope they're bringing that back to life and not going to knock it down. To quote Peter Kay, up Throde, yes, up Throde, you have to say it round here like that, is Clifton Park, which is a magnificent amenity. Wonderful, big, wide open space park that connects with, if you continue walking anyway, quite a long walk, you can get over the M62 motorway, back again, and into Prestwich Park and the other park and the Clough. And you can also see the famous, is it 7 or is it 9 arches? Anyway, a bridge that used to take the old Bolton to Manchester train. Or maybe it wasn't Bolton, it might have been Burn. Anyway, they were talking about bringing that back to life. But of course, with all the compulsory purchases necessary, I can't see that happening anytime soon. I'm still not convinced about Swinton Square, but maybe we'll go and have a quick shufty in and have a look in a moment. Yes, you can see what I mean. Not too sure. Oh, they've got the Swinton Pendlebury Labour Club with somebody playing bass, but it seems that it's seen better days. A little bit like the Labour Party, I suppose. Magic Stitches seems to demonstrate a little bit of interesting architecture, and next door to it, and it has been refurbished because it's not in its original state, I don't think, but there's the Grand Palais, apparently a dance centre with Mr. Tech down below. Yes, retail unit to let. Oh, here we are. We're in the square. Oh, I owe an apology. There seems to be signs of life down here. And just eat. No, not for me, thanks. I've just eaten. Yes. Well, we'll have a little bit of a further investigation, so I'll stop the oh gosh, one after the other. Empty units. Oh dear. The Green Party Outfitters seems to be closed. Simple clothing for very simple people. Well, dangerously simple people, actually. And poor old Buzzy Bee, they've buzzed off. And Derite FS. FS? I wonder what that stands for. Oh, for sake, I hope not. I suppose the one positive is that people who live above the units in the shopping centre, it being relatively quiet, don't get too disturbed. And there's an Asda at the end there. You've got all the Epicurean delights. Mind you, with so few customers, people wandering around, I do wonder how they can manage to sustain all these mini eateries. I shy away from using restaurant. And as I say, all roads lead to Asda. And Specsavers, Costa Coffee, Card Factory, and the Sally Annie. Yes, I know it's just a post box, but look here! Last collection, Easter Sunday. And as we look down the street here, we've got the Church Inn. Yes, presumably, I can't think why they might have called it the Church Inn. Anybody know a reason why? St. Peter's Graveyard. Please use the paths provided. I would have thought burial plots would have been far better. And what a wonderful entrance. Is there? In through to the some commemorations there. Royal British Legion. and in through to the... Now isn't that a very lovely English scene? As I've said many times, I always get very uncomfortable walking on people's burial places, but that, as I told you many videos ago, is where they used to bury people years ago. Well, I know they bury them in the ground regardless, but those that couldn't afford actual plots. And there's the Swinton Gateway. It looks like a building, but well, that's an old joke. Sorry, I'll stop that. And then we can see just over yonder some of the wonderful eating establishments that are open for everybody's cuisinical delight. Oh, there you go. That's telling thieves where to get off. Beware, you thieves. Go nick elsewhere. And the back end of the church with the bell tower. Well, of course, that's where they put it, in a tower, wouldn't they? Oh, look, some Miriam Magoolis up there. Ooh, looking very austere out on the congregation. Well, the congregation of me at the minute, and I'm not a congregant. Oh, this is, I wouldn't say it's macabre, but yes, a corridor of gravestones, or commemoration bits, should I say. Ooh, and we're coming up now to a little kempt plot. Nice to see people remembering those who have passed on, or, as they say in normal language, died. But nicely kept, as indeed it should be. I'm not knocking it. Oh, we're having a seance with some actually, I'm not being fair. Tribute shows. Oh, Lionel Richie, what more do you want? I suppose he's dancing on the ceiling. And fuel, dedicated to petrol. You know, that's very good. Why not? This is the road down to... Yes, it's the road down to Pendleton. And not really much to see, apart from the back of the Civic Centre. Apologies about that. I would have got O'Brien's and the JCBs in, like, to create a bit of something for you, like. I must confess I was rather surprised to see such a large parish church on such small grounds, but so be it. And this is, on a more serious level, the Swinton Gateway. I presume it's just an access area for residents to get all the services they want to, but I'm not too convinced that the people living here on Compton Street are too pleased about having a large car park. Well, it's not large, but a car park in front of them, with people swearing about the cost of parking. And burgerized. Oh, have you ever been burgerized? And Prego, I won't say what Prego stood for in Dublin. And hair appeal. Oh, well, my hair appeal went years ago. Just to prove it, look, there we are, ball bonds. I don't care. It's the way it goes. You know what they say? Grass never grows on a busy street. But then again, I suppose an empty barn needs no thatch. Well, make up your own minds. I might be wrong, but I'm sure I saw Tin Tin Wong in concert some time ago. Well, many years ago. Ah, subway. You'd have a subway. All overlooked by the wonderful Lancastrian Hall and Library Centre. And I'm afraid that's it. That's my flying visit to Swinton. There is, I must say, a heritage trail you can walk, but I didn't see where the indications of where that started or any of the arrows to do with it. So even though it's a lovely day, I decided against it. I know, laziness, better part of valor, having wandered around and not seen an awful lot. So there you have it. That was Swinton. Only a short one, but then, you know, size isn't everything.